I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Happy Sunday, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days, where we give you a full dish of this week's episodes of NBC's Emmy Award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I'm joined by my usual gals. To my far left, we have...
Michael Mattis, back from wherever I was. I forgot I was gone last week.
Oh my God.
Everyone in the chat room was like, welcome back. I'm like, oh yeah, I was gone last week.
And I totally forgot to mention, someone in the comments was like, where's Michael? And I was like, I forgot to mention.
Yeah,
He
fine.
gone.
It's fine.
What happened to Michael? He
Dead.
Gone.
Oh, no.
Don't say that.
No.
You can't say
You
that.
don't want that. Knock on wood.
Michael.
Oh, boy.
Great. Yep, there we go.
There we go. And now we have... Bum, 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 bum.
Hey everyone, Chelsea O'Rourke.
Hi, everybody.
The princess just woke up.
Right.
Hi.
And living her life in green, she is...
Kermit the Frog. Tammy Gavea. Hi everyone.
Yay, Tammy Govea. And if you guys are tuning in live, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on social media. We are Dishin Days on Facebook and Instagram and _Dishin Days on Twitter. Now, also, you guys, if you're watching, share this link with all of your Days of Our Lives fans. If you are in a part of any groups, chat rooms, message boards, if they still have those, tweet, anything, share this link so that more people can come in and chit chat with us. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or wherever podcasts can be found, make sure you subscribe and also give us 5 stars and give us a good old comment. Let us know how much you like it. And that's it. If you are a lover of all things soaps, make sure you tune in to all of our recaps. We have Young and the Restless Wrap, followed by the GH Report, and of course, once a month or sometimes twice a month, or when something is real good, you can see Tammy Govea and our previous host James Law Jr. break it all down for you in the Bold Breakdown for Bold and La Beautiful.
March 15th. That's the next one.
That's the next one?
Yeah.
No, that's right before St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Good luck. And later on in the show, we have formerly Mr. Craig Wesley. Kevin Spiritus is going to be here to talk about season 2 of his Emmy Award-winning digital series, After Forever. Because if you haven't seen it yet, After does last forever.
Forever.
And ever.
And ever.
You'll stay in my heart.
Together forever.
Oh, see, you went into a different song.
Together forever.
What, is that some Madonna song, isn't
Probably.
it?
It's not a Madonna
It's
song.
not?
It's like an 80s freestyle. I don't know. I can't remember the artist. It's a song that's on one of my playlists.
You have an 80s
But it ain't Madonna.
Oh.
Surprise, surprise.
Wow.
I won't tell.
I'm branching out.
I'm
How about
shocked.
that? How about that?
I am shocked.
I want to give a shout out to Joe Howell in the chat room, who's ditching her family for dinner to watch our show. She says,
thank
my
you.
family is late for dinner. Think it's okay to make them eat alone while I watch Dishin Days?
Absolutely.
And I said, absolutely. Priorities.
Permission granted.
You know
Yes.
what you do? You go in the kitchen, grab yourself a plate, pop a squat in the living room or wherever you're watching us, and just keep doing you.
Yeah.
At least that's what I would do. All right, so what did you guys think of this week's episodes of Days?
Great week.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I was very, very, very happy with this week.
You know what?
It pleased me,
It
yes.
pleased you.
As I'm sure the entire Days of Our Lives production is like, what's he going to think? I'm sure they're very concerned about what Michael Mattis thinks.
Maybe.
Anyway, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I just thought there were moments where I was like, let's go. Like what are we doing?
The pacing I've noticed the past few weeks has been a little bit slower than what we're used to lately. Like things that should happen in one episode seem like stretched out into 2, or a few weeks ago where we had it was John and Gina in the whatever dungeon. And Stephen O and Marlena / Hattie in the apartment, the loft, for like the entire week.
Yes.
And it was just like, so I agree, the pacing with some things could be a little bit, we're accustomed to a quicker pace now, and so when it slows down, we're like, all right, let's move it along a little bit.
I would have liked more
Still
time
good.
in the Demira wine cellar with the 3 ladies. That
Yes.
they could have dragged on for
Taking
a
it
couple
back.
of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so
I see
much
what you're
fun.
saying. Yeah, especially with the wedding scene, it was kind of like, Lonnie, say it.
Just
I
yes,
know.
gosh.
I that's how I was feeling too.
And
I
why
was
isn't
like,
somebody
girl.
tackling her?
Yeah.
Right.
Tackle her.
Gabby?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they tried to take the phone away a couple times. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And she just was like, no.
Tackle
Okay,
her.
well,
Plus they
pause.
did-
Let's
yeah.
talk about it now. Because see, we're
so excited.
The question was, how did you think about this week?
It was
And they're
great.
just like, we're just gonna talk about it. So let's talk about it. It's now time to start Dishin Days.
I got nothing to say.
Yay! All right, so let's kick things off with the first storyline, which is the wedding. Gabby, Lonnie, Eli, Julie, Abe, JJ, everybody else. All right, so I was actually very excited about the wedding because it started on Monday. What I almost wished was that it was just the wedding on Monday because they kept cutting to
Other stuff,
to
yeah.
Will. It was just Will and Sunny.
Well, Sunny and then Ev.
Evan
It was
came
the
in
thing
a little
because
bit.
it was the
Speckle.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it was a splash of Evan. But I was like, you know what? I don't mind.
Sunny got a splash of Evan.
Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Evan wanted a splash of Sunny. Okay. I'm just saying. But I just kind of wanted the wedding to be the whole episode because I just wanted to see how it unfolded. But just like you guys, I felt like the pacing of it was just kind of like, there was the dramatic entrance, and then it took like 5 scenes before she finally started unveiling revealing.
That's what
What did I?
saying.
Unveiling.
You
It's
were
the same
combining
thing.
the two.
Unveiling works.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
You saw what I was doing.
Revealing,
What Gabby had actually did, and I was just like, let's get to the dramatics of it all.
Yeah.
But somebody last week, I'm not gonna name names, said that it was going to be a dream and that it actually wasn't going to be happening. Someone over here
Did I say
said that. Yeah, you did. You were like, it's probably a dream.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I'm
wouldn't put
so
it.
glad it wasn't, though.
I wouldn't put it. Excuse me. I wouldn't put it past Days to do that.
You know?
But
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
familiar tool.
yeah, I feel like this
sure.
time around it couldn't have been like they needed to get this wrapped up.
Yeah. And then I was, side note, I love that Valerie was there.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, y'all didn't give her nothing.
Nothing. No.
Nothing.
She was
She
there.
was just there smiling.
Yeah,
But she
that's
looked
it.
beautiful though.
She did.
But then you also kind of think she wasn't at Eli's wedding, the wedding with Lonnie and.
No. I guess
And
they have
Eli.
to. No, but Lonnie's mother was. It's like they have to pick and choose which mother comes to what
Got it.
wedding. I guess.
Well, or maybe scheduling wise,
Right.
Vanessa
Vanessa
wasn't available.
I do miss her Vanessa being on. I felt like she added something to the show. She's very dynamic and very engaging to watch.
And that kind of character's needed.
Yeah.
That maternal.
And I feel like she could be like the maternal, like I feel like she has a wide range.
Yeah.
So she could play like, if they wanted to take her down that road, like Alexi,
Yes.
or something like that.
Yeah.
But she was great with Abe. And
she was,
and I felt like that was such a great relationship. It just sucks that they made them break up.
Yeah, for whatever. And like you said, maybe it was scheduling. Maybe she wanted to pursue other interests. I don't know. But we miss her and we're happy to see her.
Yes.
And she looked good. Speaking of
she
green,
did.
she looked good. There was a green motif going on at the wedding with
Just between Abby and Valerie, because they were sitting in front of each other.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Abigail is me at the wedding with the reveal of Lonnie. Like, Lonnie was like, well, Gabby was like, aren't you a nun now? Didn't you take a vow? And isn't one of the commandments, thou shalt not lie? It's the 6th commandment. I was like, oh, you better know which commandments it are. Yeah. And then she was like, about that. Now, I also kind of felt like that reveal could have been a little quicker. Maybe costumes could have just did something that was real quick because I felt like she was still like taking off stuff. And then, she had to like kick the skirt. But Abigail was like, and I was like, that would be me. That's how I would be like, did y'all, what? That's how
Chad
I
and
would
Abigail made that wedding for me.
Yeah.
I just
Just
have
their
to go back.
reactions,
Their reactions were perfect.
Oh, the reactions of people all week, like their faces, had me cracking up.
Yeah.
Like everyone's face was always just kind of like,
Shaggy?
what? Huh? Yeah. But I'm glad that it seemed like this week they were really like wrapping stuff up really quick. Because they definitely wrapped up this storyline by exposing Gabby. And then
she was faking it. Julie was faking it. That was
plot twist.
I loved it.
Wasn't expecting that.
But then I guess then it goes back to when JJ saw the tech nerd, and we were like, "Oh, he's just gonna let that go," and apparently he didn't, because then he remembered that he saw his mugshot, which is, and his rap sheet is a mile long, and then they were able to catch what was happening. JJ then told Julie. Julie kept it cool and went on with the wedding, and then
got a good pacemaker put in.
Yep, got a good pacemaker put in. Theo then sent a thing to Gabby's phone that said new device, so she's thinking she can still control it. We all think that she can still control it. Even at the wedding when she was like, crank it up, and Julie was like, oh my heart. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And then when Julie passed out, and then Valerie was like, her heartbeat's strong.
Yeah, her pulse is strong in this one.
And then she was like, "'Cause there's nothing! You have nothing on me! I got you!" And I was like, oh, okay.
The only thing that bugs me about that whole scenario, and that, I just kind of have to put aside and, like you say, be
a fan with open arms,
is that it apparently all of that went down, like, in the hours before the wedding. You know what I mean? Like, that's like a week's worth of tasks and planning, and it all happened that same day. That's the only issue I had with it, but I was like, okay, that's how it works.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
But my other issue, and I think the issue that we all had with the storyline, was why wouldn't Lonnie just say what was happening in the first place?
I know, and that's what Eli's issue is why didn't you just tell me?
And it's kind of, whatever, I partly agree with you, however, she has a point where if she were to reveal it to somebody, but she did reveal it to JJ, nothing happened. So whatever. Her fear, though, was if she did tell somebody that Gabby was just going to go for it and kill Julie. So that's her justification for keeping it a secret. Does it really hold water? And yes, to Eli's point, you told JJ, but I mean...
But that was a year later.
A year later, exactly.
That was a year later. But here's the thing, though. If you are good at devising plans, right? Here's the plan. Lonnie, Eli, wedding day, Gabby, reminding Lonnie, this is what you got to do, or not, I'm going to get Julie. Then you tell somebody, someone creates a diversion, steal Gabby's phone, and then she's on the thing about to say, Eli, I'm not dumping you because Gabby is doing this. And then when she goes to reach for her phone, they could have did a phone swap, right? Because, and then she thinks she's cranking it up and it's like, oh, looking for this? And then, like, boom, all would have been solved.
That would have been 3 months of story.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have had.
But then there's the other issue.
But then again, we're not writers. We're not in the writer's room with the tree. And how everything is supposed to... Because maybe it was supposed to go a different way. We don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? We don't know.
Scenario.
We're not privy to all that.
Yeah. So, I mean, whatever. The wedding... the wedding was good.
And Susan Hayes, like, they just give her this material and she just runs, like, 1,000 miles with it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could give her my shopping list, my grocery list, and she would turn it into some, like, Emmy-winning... piece of performance art, like a dramatic reading of my shopping list, and she would win all the Emmys.
When she's wailing at Gabby and
you and Lonnie's like, what is it? What is it, Julie? Mendacious little bitch.
Oh
yes,
mendacious little bitch.
And then someone like me who's sitting there going, definition of mendacious.
Mendacity.
What is that?
I read a tweet. No, maybe it was in a soap opera digest. It was on Twitter. Here's how it was. Someone posted a Soap Opera Digest article on Twitter, like a scan of it, and so I read it. And Susan Hayes said that back last year when they filmed the scene of Julie falling down the stairs, and before Julie fell down the stairs, she called Gabby a mendacious little bitch.
She did.
Apparently that was an ad lib, because Susan called it an ad lib that they brought back.
Okay.
Just a little interesting tidbit
that I done read.
Fun fact.
someone pointed out in the chat room, I think it was Annie Goen, that said that they started this storyline with Lonnie and Kristen teaming up to take Gabby down, and then it's interesting how it ended up being JJ and Lonnie. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to flick you off. JJ and Lonnie taking Gabby down.
So do you think Eli has a right to not want to talk to her? And
Who, Eli?
Eli.
Yeah, he's like, I just can't right now. I gotta
think
go.
he needs. I give him a little time.
Yeah.
I think he'll come around, but he had a lot to process the last time when she dumped him.
Yeah.
And so now he's finally gotten over that, got his life seemingly on track with Gabby, is all happy on his wedding day, and then boom, none of it was real.
Yeah,
and
poor
so
thing.
I feel like he was reasonable in needing a space, and I felt like Lonnie was receptive to that.
Oh, yeah.
So
She was
like,
fine.
here.
I know.
It can't just be like, bam, back together.
And that's what she wanted. She's like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I want to show you how much I love
Yeah.
you. He's like, I can't
no.
do that right
It's not
now.
gonna happen.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's too soon. He does need a second to process everything. But I also kind of feel like Gabby was a rebound and that he really wasn't in love with her. It was just convenient.
I mean, Lonnie's his lobster, let's face it.
Yes.
What exactly does that mean?
It's a Friends quote, meaning because in an episode where an episode of Friends where Ross and Rachel were broken up, Phoebe was like, they're gonna get back together. He's her lobster. She's his lobster. And they're like, what? Exactly like you just reacted.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's a known fact that lobsters mate up and then mate for life.
They're monogamous.
Yes.
Which is
They
rare
mate,
in the
and so it's like,
ecosystem.
and then at the very end of the episode, Ross and Rachel get back together, and Phoebe goes, "See, he's her lobster."
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
I think there's 3 species in the animal kingdom
yes.
that monogamy comes naturally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And lobsters are one of
The
them.
rest of them just.
It doesn't come natural.
Well, maybe I was a lobster in my previous life. In this life, she's alone. What? So then,
The second half was basically. The second half of the week with that storyline was basically Gabby chained to the chair in the police station,
Yes.
and the
Yeah.
revolving door of
People coming in.
visitors. Yeah.
Rafe, what's wrong with you? Sonny, what's wrong with you?
yeah. Here's the thing, though, and I know I shouldn't, but I did. I justified why Gabby was where she was at in that moment, because when she had that speech of like, you know, this person can do whatever they want, and that's fine, and this person did this, and it's fine, and then I do something, and my whole life is just like taken from me. I was like, you're right, because when Abigail was in the DID and lied on Gabby, she went to jail
And got
beat up, and then wasn't able to have kids again. Got out, and yes, she would feel some kind of way about that. And then she's kind of finally getting herself back together, although she's now just a bad bitch. And and she found love with Stefan, and we all loved it. And then boom, Stefan gets shot. Now, granted, it's not Lonnie's fault.
Yeah, it was an accident.
It definitely was an accident, but she sees it as like, everybody keeps taking from me and no one pays.
She keeps being punished.
Yes.
Gabby keeps being punished even when she doesn't do anything wrong.
Right.
She does something wrong, she gets punished. She doesn't do anything wrong, she gets framed for something, she falls in love, her husband gets taken. Punishment. And so, you kind of do. I see it like, should she be doing what she's doing? No. But
And because
the
she has
motivation,
Ari.
you kind of understand. You somewhat understand the motivation.
The consequences.
That's just the only thing. I wish in those moments where she just felt like she was in a dark place, she just would have thought about Ari more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, or just thought about like, nope, I'm not gonna take myself down that road again. I do want to be a better person, but I think she thought, I'm gonna be karma, and I'm gonna get back at those.
I'm gonna be that bitch.
Yeah, who ruined my life, and they have to pay. And if someone above is not gonna make them pay, then I'm gonna make sure that they pay. But when her and when Sunny walked in and her face just kind of dropped,
that just beautiful?
you knew
Man.
that he was going to lay in, and I was like, rightfully so,
Absolutely.
because here's Will in jail for the supposed death of Adrian. We all know that he didn't kill her. Then you got Gabby around here trying to kill Julie to avenge Stefan's death, and pay back everyone who's done her wrong. And who stuck with Ari? Sonny. And that ain't even her daddy.
He always to your point. He always seems to be the one, the responsible one.
Yeah.
And so he's
Thank God.
He's like the dad. He's like the father figure that's just like, again.
Yeah.
Really. And like he's the one that Gabby really felt the most guilty about.
Yeah.
I would think their scene on Friday. I was telling them, these guys, that Thursday and Friday we had the Sierra Ben stuff, which we'll get to, and then we had that scene with Freddie and Camila, and it was just everything got turned up to 100 really quick.
And we were saying too, it's like, Ron, writers, why weren't you giving Freddie this kind of material long before? I've never seen this side of him.
No.
Especially with the death of Adrian, and then now the stuff with Gabby. Yeah.
So good.
But, I mean, I feel like it just kind of took a while. Before Ron, there was Dina.
There was. That's a fact.
And that's all we can say.
I don't remember who was before her.
I don't know either. I didn't. You know what's odd? I never, I would, again, fan with open arms. I would just watch the show not knowing who wrote it. I was just like, whoever's writing it,
before Dina, it was Josh Griffith. The Dark Days.
Yes.
He wrote them through the 50th and had the stuff.
Yes. Oh, okay, yes. Oh, okay, I think I do remember that. But then it was, I feel like Ron is besides Dina, Ron's the first person that you're the head writer of Days. Yeah. Got it.
And there's a definite difference.
Yes.
He's brought a lot of humor to the show.
He's brought a lot of humor. He's brought a lot of succinctity. That's not a word. I don't know. Succinctness to the show. And I don't know how to describe that, but I just feel like I'm watching all one show.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was, I don't know, it was very...
But also history. I love little points and little nods to things that have happened in the past. So I think that's good too. But powerful scene between Gabby and Sonny. Love the scene with Kate. When Kate, well, first of all, she had her own issues with.
I like that we kind of found out that yes, Kate is going to be. I feel like this is the last. When did we? Okay, so before we see Kate in the police station, when was the last time we saw her?
Prague.
You're right.
With John and all that.
Okay, but she was with John in the dungeon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to say, and so now we see Kate. She's been brought back to Salem, and she's being punished for her part for hiding Steve and Gina.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Yes.
I felt a little disjointed because I couldn't remember. I was like, okay, she's in the police station now.
Why is she here?
But when did we see her last?
Yeah.
So I had to kind of talk through it.
Yeah. It was Prague when we saw her last, and they're upset that the fact that she knew that Patch was Stefano and Hope was Gina and didn't say anything.
And you know what's just ticking me off though about Gabby is she just keeps blaming and blaming and blaming. And when Kate's like, "How did you come up with this idea?" and Gabby says, "I got it from you."
Yeah. It's
and
no.
Kate's like, "Hold on, what?" You
Don't
told
drag
me
down.
I need to get on with my life, and I'm thinking, and so this is how you translate it, really?
Yeah. Well,
that was Gabby's rationale. Gabby's just desperate for someone to blame but herself.
Yeah.
But also, her and Kate have that relationship and bond and history with each other. So sometimes people that you connect with will spark something. And so of course in her mind she's like, I got this from you. I didn't have that idea before I talked to you. But side note, can we talk about the lovely raspy voice that Lauren Coslow had?
Yeah.
She's showing up to work.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a true
regardless.
She probably was not feeling well, and either got her voice back or on the verge of losing it, and yet she still showed up.
Yeah.
She still played the hell out of her role.
Absolutely.
And she pushed through that raspiness.
She sure did.
The only difference was the voice. It was
That's
pure
it.
Kate
Her
except
energy,
the voice.
yes.
I wonder, did she tweet about it or anything, or say anything about it?
I saw somebody tweet, and this was before I watched the episode, where it was kudos to Lauren Coslow for powering through her scene, even though she was obviously ill. I don't think she tweeted about it. She's been Instagramming a lot of what do you want to, aspirational
Inspirational?
stuff. inspirational / aspirational.
Okay.
There's a difference between the two words, but very like
aspirational when you aspire to be something or do something.
So inspirational.
Yeah, more inspirational.
Which is, I don't know. I'm curious. With everything else going on, I'm like,
oh, see, everybody's on edge.
Stop.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
The DA. Can we just talk about the DA?
Oh, the DA, the new DA.
He looked familiar.
It was amazing.
But then I was also like, where's Melinda Trask?
I know. I thought that too, but at the same time, he
Maybe
was
she
really
took a sabbatical
good.
to mourn Haley.
Oh, no, actually, no, that's right, because she was DA, quit, then Ted was DA, but we all know what happened to Ted.
Dead.
And then, I thought Justin turned down the DA.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess and then now it's this guy who he looks familiar. I don't know where else I've seen him from.
I don't know either. He didn't look familiar to me. I was just like, oh, we have a new DA now.
But he's not playing.
He is not.
I was like, oh, he's worse than Melinda.
Not effing around, yeah.
He plays it.
Like 10 years, take or leave it. Okay.
Poor little Gabby.
But I was talking to Tamala before the show. Like, how are they going to get Gabby out of this? Or is Gabby actually going to be going to jail again?
Yeah.
Well, listen. Here's the thing. How does anyone get out of half of the stuff that they
technicalities
done? Yeah.
Or she knows something about someone and gets an immunity deal like Xander did.
Oh right.
Something.
Yeah.
Remember, Xander ratted out Kristen, and that's how he got his immunity.
Yeah.
But they did say that she couldn't get off of good terms, though, right?
Oh, right. No parole, no good terms.
It's either life, 10 years.
That's it.
I have
life for 10 years.
I thought of a way, like talking about technicalities, since her phone wasn't operable as the pacemaker controller. That could be her way out of it. She's like, no, I technically didn't try to kill her because the phone wasn't operating.
But it could have been attempted.
But she thought
attempted,
it was
yeah. But maybe she'll get like a reduced. Maybe I don't know. But I was just curious. I'm like, how is she going to get out of this? Because they have a point. There's all those witnesses. She tried to do it.
30-some witnesses.
Yeah.
And even the DA
I don't want Gabby
said,
to go back to jail.
If you try to fight this, if it's me, I'll put you life sentence.
Yeah. He was good.
Who's her lawyer? Do we know who her lawyer is?
I don't know.
He didn't
but
show
that's
up.
That the DeMiras can afford.
I thought it was Justin, but he was like, we're all busy. Take it or leave it. I was like,
oh my God.
What kind of deal is this, sir?
Yeah.
Then he goes outside and finds Sierra, and he's like, oh, aiding and abetting a fugitive. I was like, he wastes no time.
I'm like, girl, calm
Mm-hmm.
down. All right, so we'll see how all that unravels.
Yes.
Now we have Sin, and Chad and Rafe and the DA that we were just talking about. I don't know about y'all. I kept yelling at the TV. Like, when Chad came knocking on the door and he was still there, I was like, first of all, you were supposed to leave at the crack of dawn. Mm-hmm. It is clearly light outside.
But they were spooning.
Yes.
In that twin bed.
It was that last spoon.
No, you spoon until 3-4 a.m. You get up, you pack a bag.
It's so cold in the morning.
Get a sandwich and hit it. And but the whole time I kept going like, okay, Chad came. It's like, Ben, go, Ben, go, Ben, go. But then no, they still gotta embrace and look in each other's eyes.
They were doing some heavy kissing too.
Oh my God.
And they're
and they
sweating.
kept going back for more.
Real.
Yeah, and they're all sweating and then finally the door opens and Rafe is there.
So good.
Because Rafe actually went to the DeMera mansion. Well, first he went to the Kyriakis mansion. We'll talk about that. Well, he went to the Kyriakis mansion because of Ben.
Because of Ben.
Right, and then
like,
he
if
went.
you know anything, old man, tell me.
Let us know. And then he went to the DeMera mansion, and Chad could not cover up that he knew something. I was like, girl, you look guilty.
But do you think he finally told Rafe at the end?
No,
without a scene.
No.
I think Rafe went on his own.
He went on his own.
Because Rafe was like, I'm not buying this whole like you're renovating and people are in and out or whatever.
Rafe said, if you don't tell me you're aiding and abetting, what is it? You're
aiding and abetting.
Aiding and abetting. Fugitive.
Well, maybe he just said,
like,
go check for yourself. Yeah. And then he shows up because Ben spent 2 hours, saying bye to Sierra. And then there's Rafe, like...
hard woman to leave.
It's like, okay, listen, that's a hard man to leave. Because I don't know, I'd be like Sierra too. Like,
climb that like a tree.
Deep end, watch as I dive in. Okay, so then...
Dream, Tony, wake up.
So then Rafe catches Ben. Sierra knocks him out with the bat. And then she looks at him and goes, run.
And this is the point that I yelled because he didn't.
Right.
He just stayed there like, I was like, run, bitch.
It's like, boom. And as soon as she said, if you love me, you'd run, I would have been like,
okay.
And just like hit it.
But his brain is thinking, if I run, she's in trouble.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big mess for her.
Well, Rafe came to. Sierra's like, I'm sorry. She gets taken down to the police station. DA is
But
like...
she used the mom card.
What mom?
You know, Rafe said,
she was
you
like,
are in so much trouble. She's like, well, it's not like my mom's going to let you.
And he's like, hey, funny story.
Yeah, let me tell you about your mom.
Did you hear about your mom?
Gina.
Great. Gina.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I was surprised
Because,
when
yeah,
she
and
did
he had
that.
a point because we have not seen in this whole Princess Gina storyline
Any interaction with them.
They have been totally separate. No interaction, no...
Well, listen. Gina's off being Gina. Sierra's over here with Ben.
Saving
They ain't got no
job.
time. The only person who had time was Sean Douglas. And it took 5 minutes for him to be like,
Not my
Gina,
mom.
It's Gina.
not my mama. Guess who's not my mama? Gina. So that was all of 5 minutes.
Yep.
But, you know, like a knight in shining armor, just when the DA was about to throw the book at her, you know, here comes Ben, like,
50
I'm no
yard
longer
dashing.
I'm no longer a fugitive. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
off
all
the
right.
hoodie.
I don't know why you put the hoodie on. It's daylight now, bro.
He's hiding.
Yeah,
he's running.
He's running.
That was like half-assed hiding, though. Like, he had it like half on. Like, he had just been
I'm
running.
sure as he's running through the
All he did was run behind Rafe and Sierra. Like, he didn't run nowhere. Like, he was like, he saw Sierra and Rafe like get in the car and her being taken to the police station, and then he was probably like sitting behind a bush, and then was like, I gotta go do it, and then was like, I ain't no fugitive no more.
There you go.
But I'm glad he did because that's the Ben we love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel so bad.
And
if
Sarah will
went
be
down
really
there.
mad
Yes.
for a little bit, but
But he did the right
it's
thing.
the best thing.
And
You had to save her.
And even though, yes, they kept kissing and he should have left a long time ago, we would have not got those amazing scenes. Victoria delivered it this week with the crying.
I-
She was
Okay.
a hot mess.
It has been a while since we've had a scene that's been so heavy in emotion and that just really like... And I was like, what is going on?
And it all started.
I was like, I'm starting to feel
For
stuff.
me, it all started when she went to visit Ben and had to tell him that there's no deal or what have you. Remember when she got so much? She was like very stoic, and all of a sudden it's just like crumble, crumble, crumble.
Because she's trying. She's really trying to prove his innocence. And just when you thought, like, oh, I figured it out, then you didn't figure it out. And then you're like, what do I do? This is my boo. But he still should have left at 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, you could have been in Canada by now. Or at least Chicago. You know, Chicago ain't nothing but a hop, skip, and a jump.
Right. Salem's in Illinois.
Yeah.
Why not?
All that. See, again, pace. That all just looking in each other's eyes and sweating and kissing and sweating and sweating and kissing, laying in the
And
twin
going
bed.
back to it. They just kept going back to it and just being like, "Argh." I was like,
And
"Ooh."
then the fake ones, you know, the ones where you touch lips but you don't kiss, but then you touch and then you don't, and then you kiss and then you don't kiss. I'm like, go, you got to go, like TikTok, like your alarm didn't go off, you late. All right, well we'll see how that story unfolds. Moving on, the Devereaux family found out that Bill Horton died, which. Well, I found that interesting because I was like, again, it's history. And then I like how... And then I was like, oh, that's how Jennifer and Lucas are related.
They're brother and sister, half brother and sister, because they have the same daddy.
And for some reason, James Law Jr. didn't inform me of that. And I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, because I was like, oh, I know they're related, but I felt like I never knew how.
It's because Kate... back in the day, had an affair with Bill Horton. It was the affair that sent Laura to the crazy house.
Oh, then now that all makes sense.
And then when Laura went to the Meadows and hooked up with Jack, it's when she came back. Okay, she came back from the sanitarium. Vivian and her escaped the sanitarium. Vivian and Laura were in the sanitarium together. Vivian knew that Lucas was Bill Horton's son and not... I don't remember who. But yeah, there was
Curtis.
Curtis. I don't think Curtis was ever thought of as Lucas's father.
Oh.
It was a Roberts, something Roberts.
Okay.
Because Lucas would use, regardless, there was a big scene at the Penthouse Grill where Laura revealed to everybody that Lucas was Bill Horton's son. And so that's how Jennifer and Lucas are related. They're half siblings because they share the same dad. Share the same daddy.
Yeah. Okay.
And there you go.
Well, that all makes sense.
Yeah.
But it brought up along a beautiful moment where for Bill Hayes' 50th anniversary, Doug got to reminisce about, how he met Bill, and if it wasn't for Bill, then he wouldn't have met Julie, and then that montage. I love when they do like the flashbacks.
Way back, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Mm-hmm. So that was a great moment, and
that was way back.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah, so that was a good moment. And now they're all about to go to Africa for the funeral, except Chad. Although whose heart dropped when Abigail looked at Chad and was like, "I don't want you to go." I was like,
That
what?
was harsh.
But then
way harsh.
I figured out it's something else. This is just one of those writer things.
When it cut to commercial break, I was like, oh, who gonna watch the kids? Like, you need to stay here and watch the kids. Yeah. Like, ain't nobody got time to pack up all them kids to go all the way to Africa. Yeah. Like, you stay here. I'm gonna go take care of that.
What did she say? There's some kind of virus?
Yeah,
there's some kind of illness over there?
Virus. It's like, okay.
A coronavirus kind of thing. Which is ironically topical. I know they didn't plan it that way, but yeah. And then that was Casey Moss's last episode.
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah, when he went to look back at Julie's place and he was just overlooking the restaurant and just took a pause in a moment, then he exited out. That was his last
I was like,
scene.
oh, that's it. That's it for him.
Wow.
Because they had one last scene between him and Matt Ashford, which I appreciated because they always had a very good connection dynamic going on. So that was a very touching moment. And then off to Africa.
Wow. I would have thought they would have let him leave the canvas a little bit.
Give him an exit story?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like I almost was hoping that like when they went to Africa or as they were going, he kind of had it in his mind, you know what, maybe I'll just stay there and just kind of leave Salem for a bit, get my mind off of everything. Like something to that effect.
But they may bring him back. Who knows?
Probably bring him back.
Well, bye, JJ.
I know. Casey Moss.
You were great.
We love you.
All right. Trucking right along, we have Kristen, Brady, Eric, Nicole, Sarah, Xander, Victor, Mackenzie's bone marrow.
Who do you think it is? Who's the match?
Tate.
They're leading us. They led us to believe at the end of that episode with Brady's reaction and the shock that.
But Sarah's reaction was shock, which wouldn't make sense because she knows that Tate and Teresa were both being tested. So why is she so shocked?
But it was such a long shot.
It's a long shot that Tate would be a match.
Because they're like half related.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. And it's like, you're not going to believe this.
I think it's someone completely out of the blue.
I'm kind of with you, Tammy. I think it's someone random. Like, we know, but it's...
Guess where the bone marrow coming from? Tate.
Did you hear about bone marrow?
Did you hear about Tate? Yeah.
Brady did look very unhappy.
Well, he was unhappy because Victor meddled in again and called Teresa and said, you guys go get tested. And he's like, well, something isn't right because Xander was pushing for it. Now Victor never does something unless he knows the result of something. And I'm like, y'all are telling... Like, you can actually see the crumbleization of Victor and Xander's plan. Yeah. Because then Will calls Maggie. Oh, wait, are we talking about that later?
Later, but I mean, it ties into what happens here. So
and then that happens, and then now this whole thing with the bone marrow, and it's kind of like y'all done kept this for a year. Like this is starting to crumble down. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
So I told Tammy and Chelsea this. So my husband Mark watches the show with me every now and then. So he knows what's going on, and then it'll be a while before he watches it again, and then he'll sit down and watch it with me, and is like, oh, that's happening. Oh, that's happening. So with I think Thursday's episode when we had Eric and Nicole, Xander and Sarah, Brady and Kristen, when those three couples like would come on screen, he's like, oh, they're together now? I'm like, yep. It's like, okay. And then Eric and Nicole, oh, they're together now? Yep. And he's like, Sarah and Xander, oh, wait, they're together now? And then he asked me, he's like, when did that happen? And I was like, one episode 2 weeks ago. That's when that happened. It was just funny because he's like, wait, they're together now? I'm like, yeah. Gotta watch it.
I'm telling you, gotta keep going.
Things happen fast now.
Yeah.
Also, second sidebar, how good did Xander look in that black V-neck? Oh my God!
And
his hair,
longer hair, without being
I was like,
back.
Just want to run your fingers
good,
through it.
good.
Paul Tefler always looks
Then I was thinking, I'm like, ooh, we're gonna see him next month at our quintennial.
Oh, at our quintennial. Yeah.
I'm like, just wear a black V-neck. Black V-neck and...
V-neck.
V-neck and...
V-neck.
And coiffed hair.
Yeah.
Interesting. Both Kristen and Sarah had baby dream. Well, did Sarah have a baby dream? She just had...
Kind of.
She had a
We didn't
nightmare.
see
They
it.
both had dreams. She had
Yeah.
We
nightmares.
saw
They
Kristen's
both
dream.
had
I don't think we
nightmares.
saw Sarah's dream.
Right.
She just kind of woke up like,
But I feel like they were both similar about a baby. Kristen was going through a creepy hospital with fog, and
Such good effects.
and
That's cool.
hearing Rachel crying, and oh my god, I thought that was a sound effect. That's you. Oh my goodness. And then she, found the baby carriage, and then there was no baby, and she's like, for some reason, I'm feeling like my baby
She's
needs
out
me.
there.
She's still out there, and I can't find her. And I'm like, girl, that is some strong mother vibes right there.
That's a common thing with when there's a storyline and the baby's not with the natural mother always has dreams or whatever. It happened when Lexi had Hope's baby, and it's happened before with other characters. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is normal.
Yeah.
It's a
And
normal.
Sarah's dream was
story.
of Mackenzie dying.
Oh yes, that's what it
Yeah.
was. Yes. Well, we gonna see what's gonna
Which
happen
in a
with
way
that.
is true. Because it's not.
I mean,
It's
she.
not
Mackenzie, it's-
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, and then I thought that Sarah had heard Xander and Victor
I know.
say
Oh,
that they
yeah.
had
They had a lot of
switched.
looks
She
this
walked
week.
in so upset.
Yeah.
They're both like,
See, I don't know. Like, if I lived in Salem, I would always, if people are in another room, I would always listen and then walk in.
not just walk in.
I just want
Yeah.
to just be like, wait,
Yeah.
what's happening?
I'd be like, excuse me? I would be like Chloe, the town tea collector.
Collecting tea and then spilling.
Exactly.
I liked the scene with Ari and Stacy too, Kristen and Nicole.
Oh.
I
Aren't you
think
gonna
you
apologize?
owe me apology.
And she was like,
yes.
But then Nicole went through
Oh yeah, you're
all
A,
the
B,
stuff that
C,
Kristen
D.
did, and she was basically like, "Hey, you want me to apologize?"
Which point taken.
That's
Can't argue it.
that's when you grab your cup of coffee and go, "Girl, bye."
Yeah. I think she did. I think she had her coffee.
Yeah,
then
she did.
She
Yeah.
took it down and was just like, okay, let me walk you through the steps
Yes,
here.
let's be clear here.
It's like, girl, you.
And then all Kristen had was like, my baby died. I hope you never have to go through that.
Yeah.
Didn't Nicole go through?
I
She
thought
did.
she
Something
lost
like
a
that.
child, didn't she?
Didn't she?
It was her and EJ's, right?
Right.
And that's why she stole Sammy's baby.
It was Sydney, wasn't? Or did she steal
She
Sydney from
She kidnapped
Sammy?
Cindy
She kidnapped
from
Sydney,
Sammy.
and I don't remember because there was like a dual pregnancy, a
And
parallel pregnancy.
Nicole was fake pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. All right, well, we gonna see what's gonna happen with these babies. But before we continue, we have a little bit of business for you,
Business.
brought to you by Juan. We just want to say thank you, as we do every week, for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. Now, for us to continue to grow, we need your help. So y'all listen to the following instructions. If you are right now on the YouTubes watching us live,
Hi.
just go to the thumbs up button and hit subscribe. All you gotta do is look and click, look and click, look and click. If you listen to us on iTunes, again, give us 5 stars, a 5-star rating, and make a comment. But no matter where you are or where you're listening, please leave a comment so that you can get involved in the conversation. Now, being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you guys supporting us weekly and for the past 5 years. And don't forget, tell a friend, tell your mama, tell your grandpapa, tell anyone else who is a Days of Our Lives fan, or a TV fan in general. And keep
And
enjoying our
don't let
shows.
your family bully you into having dinner with them.
No.
Right.
You want to watch Dishin Days? You watch Dishin Days.
That's right.
If you watch makes you eat alone, you eat alone.
Exactly.
You're with us.
But
you're not eating
alone. You're with
Yeah.
the excitement.
We have 185 live viewers.
I love it.
Fantastic.
I like it.
Love it.
I love it.
All right, we're going to breeze through
Let's
our
do
tidbits
this.
and segments because I just got to note that Keven Spiritus is in the house. So he's going to be joining us soon. So we're going to get him in here and we're going to open the phone lines and we're going to talk about After Forever and we're going to talk about the Last Blast reunion. We're going to talk about all that. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. So here we go. I went on one of my tangents, didn't I?
Oh, my living
Sorry.
word.
Tidbits. Okay, so we touched on this already. Will, Sonny, Evan, Maggie, and Victor. Cutest thing with Will and Sonny, the books that were given to write love letters to each other for the next year. And I was like, oh my God, I hope someone does that for me. But it looks like Will kept up with it. I don't know about Sonny. Sonny might have got upset and was like, I ain't got no love for you, so I ain't writing it in this book. Like, this book gonna turn into a hate book.
Book.
Yeah.
So I think he did say that to I think he did say that to Will.
Yeah.
He goes, ever since everything happened, I haven't been writing. Which is
But-
understandable.
Yeah.
But he started when he went to visit Will at the jail and was asking, like, did you not file the divorce papers?
Yeah.
And Will said, oh, because of the lockdown, everything got confiscated. But I was like, now hold up,
He's
Will.
lying.
You was just writing in that little book.
Right.
So everything didn't get confiscated. And when Sonny was like,
was
so are
lying.
you rethinking the divorce? I was like, because he knows that he ain't the one. He about to get out. He just got to figure out how to get out.
He's going to jog
I thought it was
her memory.
I was wondering. I'm like, is he gonna? One of those moments where I can usually predict what's gonna happen, but when Maggie showed up at the jail, I was like, is he gonna tell her?
No.
Well, I thought she was there on her own volition.
No, I knew he wasn't going to tell her because that would be cruel.
But he did jog her memory by saying,
I think that was his
you don't
intent.
remember getting in the car. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of what stirs everything up.
I like how as soon as Victor found out Maggie went to visit Will, got himself
got
to
out
the
of that
prison.
wheelchair.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like, nuh-uh.
He's like, nope.
This isn't happening.
Yeah, but Maggie is starting to remember because even when she was standing there with Xander, she could hear his, and she was just kind of like, why does this sound familiar?
Yeah, because
And-
someone was saying something to her like, Maggie,
Yeah.
do you hear me?
Yeah, and
And
that
then
was
she
Xander.
was,
Yeah, 'cause
and then
he
she was
found her.
remembering Xander's
Xander's voice.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maggie,
So-
are you okay?
So because of this storyline, I broke my Twitter rule. I broke my don't feed the troll Twitter, and a couple of people were tweeting at, and of course, including Ron, about the holes in the hole. Because you remember how we were trying to CSI how the car crash happened, and Ron not wanting to address it, but not wanting to spoil it on Twitter, obviously, would be like, well, maybe this, maybe that, and then someone replied back, see, you can't even explain your sloppy potholes, way to go, or something. And I wrote back and I was like, or maybe he knows what happened, it's going to be explained, and he just doesn't want to spoil it on Twitter. How about that?
And then what did they
then-
say
And
about
then, and
it?
then they were like, oh, you ass kisser, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay.
It's like, no. It's like.
I was offering a reasonable explanation.
Like
How dare I?
Like Ron's not gonna get on Twitter and say, "Actually, guys, this is how it happened." Ding, 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 ding. It's like, no, just wait.
It's ridiculous.
And I know Ron doesn't need defending. Like, he doesn't
No.
need anyone to but I don't know why that one got to me, and I was just like, shut up.
Let me tell you something about Ron. Don't let him fool you. That's a clapback king. Because he will clap back, and I just sit behind the computer and go,
Yeah.
okay, Ron.
Yeah. So I broke, but I felt so passionately about it. I was like, he doesn't need to address you at all.
Right.
Like, and plot points. Like, where's your daytime drama? Where's your writing? Nowhere. It's on Twitter.
That person has writing. Yep, it's on Twitter.
All right.
Anyway.
So that's that. With that, then John, Marlena, Keven, John, Marlena, Kayla, Stephen O, Justin, Rafe, Roman, Hattie. Okay, so basically with this storyline, Kayla and Stephen O are locked in the thing, and Justin and Rafe realize that Kayla's missing. And that she obviously doesn't know what they know. So then they go on a hunt, and then Stephen O finally reveals the woman that he's so in love with, and it's Marlena. Again, another phase. Kayla was like, Marlena? but
Marlena Evans?
But no, that was the kicker. She goes, Marlena Evans? there's a billion and one Marlenas in Salem. And then it was revealed that he's actually Stefano.
Rips off the patch.
Yes.
We finally get sick of it and reveals it.
And again, it's one of those moments where I realize Stephen Nichols, how he has is exuding a little bit of the Stefano character in the way that he suddenly transitioned. So kudos to him on that. But that is now all revealed. cutest moment ever was between Roman and Hattie. When Hattie runs in and is like, "Don't fire me!" And
Her
Roman's
hair
like,
looked adorable, by the way.
did.
I
Yeah,
loved
it's so cute.
And Roman was like, "You're not getting fired, Kate is." And then
and she defended Kate. I like that they have the
little girl power.
Yeah.
And then I like the fact that Roman looked at Hattie and said, well, Hattie explains why she couldn't go through it anymore because of the love that she has for Mr. Roman Brady. And
Women
then,
just throw themselves at you.
yeah, and he's sitting there like, what? And then Roman's like, with this situation, I do see you in a different light.
Yeah.
And then kissed her on the cheek.
He went in for a kiss. I was like, ooh.
And the schoolgirl response that she had was the cutest thing ever. I was like, oh, she was just like, I was like, yeah, girl, you get it. And that was that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. And that was your week of days.
Boom.
And now it's time for our segments. We're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Okay, now listen. Sometimes when you get tea and you have to play the role as if you don't know the tea so that the tea can be exposed, and you put on your Emmy Award-winning primetime choice performance and fake your own heart pacemaker going at a rapid speed and then exposed to her like, bitch, gotcha. That was Julie Williams
And this
week.
photo is perfect.
When
This
she
moment's perfect.
when she laid there and I literally was like, oh my God, like Gabby killed her. And then she was like, oh, I'm fine. I've never felt better. I was like, yes, Julie, yes. So for being the trickster of all tricksters and giving Gabby a dose of her medicine, Susan Seaforth Hayes, Julie, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap. All right. And now it's time for Designer Days.
I just remembered something.
What'd you remember?
I remembered. I remembered 2 weeks ago-ish when Steve-O was talking to who he thought was Marlena about the life they could have together.
Yeah.
And he was saying, like, you know, elegance and I was like, fashion, elegance. I was like, that's funny.
The fashion and elegance this week is going to Miss Stacey Hyduke. It was so funny because I was either going to choose that robe that she had, it was that beautiful floral red silk robe, but we're going with this midi dress by Caroline Constance. Now you can find this on Net-a-Porter. Retails for almost $900, but it's 50% off.
Oh, hey.
Available in small and medium. So this
Rude.
Caroline Constance, I know. Miss Stacey Hyduke.
Go to Sears.
You get this week's.
Nope.
No.
Oh!
Get my segments mixed up here.
Listen, look, even at 50% off, who can afford that? Y'all better go to Joann's Fabric.
$447.50.
Is it still available?
Yeah, in small and medium.
Oh, that's rare. Usually we get.
Low stock, it says, small and medium.
Okay.
Oh,
So it's
that's why it's.
So it's size broken.
Yeah.
In the
that's
fashion world, that's what we call it.
It's
When
size
there's
broken?
when there's
Size
not a full
broken.
size range of it, it's
That's
size
right.
broken.
Okay, Project Runway, come
Yeah.
through. All right, and now it's time for. Caption that.
All right, this week's caption that comes courtesy of Lonnie spilling the tea, as we would say.
Yes.
And her father Abe behind her, just looking like, just like, what is going on? This made me laugh out loud when I watched it, so I was like, that's my photo. This week's caption goes to John Del Rey, I'll put that in quotes, on Instagram, with his quote with Abe saying, "What kind of goddamn nun did I raise you to be?" I thought that was funny.
That's a
That's
good one.
cute.
Because it's blasphemous and she's a nun.
You love that. And that was Caption That. And now it's time for.
Hey, what? It's like, aww. All right, all moment of the week goes to Doug. Julie says, 50 years, Doug, what a wonderful ride you've had. From father, grandfather, husband, to the love of Julie's life. I just love the ending on Tuesday's episode.
Yeah.
That's
Aw,
cute.
they're so cute. So congrats, Bill Hayes, on 50 years.
Hey, what?
It's like, aww.
I have another congratulations. Apparently today is Lamone Archie's 3rd anniversary of his first air date. So, congrats.
Congrats.
Lamone Archie,
That's
our
cool.
good friend.
And now we have just retweeted the Oh Shiz moment of the week from @MeWorld2. So make sure you check that out because he has not one but two. He's starting to get very creative with this. All right, so let's go into news and gossip really quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. We are 1 month away from celebrating our Dishin Days Quintennial event right next door here in Burbank, California. Join us, plus Days stars Billy Flynn, Kate Manzi, Eric Martsolf, Stacey Hayduke, Paul Telfer, who I hope wears a black V-neck, Scott Shellstone, Brock Kelly, and Jen Lilly the weekend of March 21st and 22nd, a month from this weekend. Events include an evening reception and a Sunday breakfast. And remember, $10 from each ticket sold will benefit the Los Angeles LGBT Center. For complete info and to buy tickets, visit SpectrumCelebrityEvents.com. Starstruck Fan Events is bringing 2 of Days' power duos together in one place. Join Robert Scott Wilson and Victoria Konefel, Billy Flynn, and Kate Manzi, along with Judy Evans and Matt Ashford for a weekend of fun in Providence, Rhode Island. Events will take place the weekend of June 27th and 28th at the Radisson Hotel, Providence Airport, and include a cocktail party and a brunch puzzle quest event. For complete info, visit StarstruckFanEvents.com or follow StarstruckFans2 on Twitter. Next week will be your last chance to see Billy Flynn live in the play Disposable Necessities. The play by Neil McGowan is described as a comedic look at greed and the value of life and death. The final performance will take place next Saturday, February 29th at 4 p.m. at the Rogue Machine Theater in Venice, California.
And they tweeted that tickets are low, so
I
mean,
go
not
get
a lot
'em.
left. So
Go get 'em.
Low. For more information and to buy tickets, head over to roguemachinetheater.net.
Yay.
And then, of course, on Thursdays, check out Tammy and I for Soap News Weekly.
Yeah, we got some fun stuff.
We have some fun stuff happening this Thursday. Check it out.
All right, and now it is time to introduce our wonderful special guest today. He is no stranger to this fun show. Please help me welcome 5-time Daytime Emmy Award winner, Mr. Keven Undergaro. How are you?
Welcome back.
I'm great. Am I on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
We
can hear you.
not really hearing me, but
there we
anyway,
go.
it's okay.
It's like, what is happening? Where
Hey,
are we?
by the way, let's set the record straight. I am not personally a 5-time Emmy Award
you're
winner.
a
I'm a
part
3-time Emmy Award winner of a 5-time Emmy Award winning show After Forever on Amazon.
Well, listen, claim them all. Claim them
You
all.
know,
They
I just
all
want
got
it to
the name
be.
on them.
Listen, if it's in writing, if it's on the internet, people think it's true.
Yeah.
This is
So
true.
I just want to write it to center every time.
I'm glad you clarified that. Although on my Wikipedia page, you got all 5.
Okay, Tony, thanks.
So congratulations on season 2
Season
of
2.
After Forever.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that, we have to talk about the return
reunion
of Craig
Yeah.
Wesley.
I know.
That was, first of all, like the last blast for me was like the time that I started watching Days. So like I was,
like when we were
like
yes,
back
in
then.
1997.
Yes. So then when it look, I'm right there with you. Yeah. Well, I mean, so but but then when it came back on the app, I was like, yes. But then it was a great surprise to see you and Patricia back as the Wesleys, because I personally, and I'm sure I've told you this, I loved you guys on the show back then because it was such a different dynamic. It was such a different couple, and I was like, yes, people need to see that, you know, this type of coupling.
Yeah, I mean, what they originally had created was this non-conventional couple, and you know, Patricia and I just sort of slipped into it and enjoyed, you know, we kind of relished in the fun of it. And then as story grew and grew and grew, you know, we just took on so much other stuff with it. But I think it was a great way for storytelling. I got to be very quiet on here. I almost fell off this. I'm on a high chair. Anyway, but it's a great way of Days created a way of telling story that was different from the dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
You know, or the always has to be so
Yeah, the dramatization
there were that parts of it, but then
we had that too.
Like,
but we had the crazy zany
the
fun.
road trip with Nurse Allie.
Oh God,
my all-time favorite. I mean, Lisa Lindy. Just the greatest, and we just had so much fun because we were doing things that weren't conventional.
Yeah.
I mean, we were jumping out of windows and into dumpsters, and all three of us were in bed together. And it's like, what's happening? And that was just daytime.
Right. What was it like? Were you shocked when they called you back to do the Last Blast reunion? Or did you have any idea that it was a possibility?
I keep in touch with Greg Mang, and
shout out to Greg. Hopefully you're watching.
Hi, Greg. And he's been very supportive of everything that I've been doing outside of Days. With After Forever, and he said, I got to talk to you about a couple of things, and you'll understand when I get it all, in place.
Yeah.
And he reached out and he wanted me to come back and do the episodes. Episodes. I love that. And I checked out what he had sort of intimated what it was going to be, but he called me right in the middle of filming season 2 of After Forever. And I said, Greg, I love you. I'd love to see everybody, but I can't be there until this date. And he said, no, you have to come now. I was like, no, I can't. I'm kind of like holding all this together. I'm kind of important to this shoot. And he laughed. He says, oh, you big star. But and then he was able to work it out.
Oh, it's
fantastic. And it was great. And it was wonderful to see everybody. And I haven't seen Nadia in forever. In person. And I'm she's this grown-up girl now. Woman.
She got kids.
She got babies.
she got kids.
She married. But she's lovely, and and she I kind of was there raising her. She came onto the show when she was 16.
Was so young. I mean, the iconic reveal of Ghoul Girl is
Girl.
my all-time favorite. Like her in that red dress with like the long, like wavy hair. I mean, there was a moment as like a little tiny tot for Christ in South Carolina. I was like, that's who I want to be when I grow up. I want to be her.
You want to be Ghoul Girl revealed.
I want to be Ghoul Girl revealed.
What happened?
You are Ghoul Girl revealed.
Thank you, Kevin.
There you go.
Yes.
Thank you.
I just
Shady Sunday. Well, what happened? And then Kevin cleared it up for you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, Ghoul Girl is definitely. When I think of Tony Moore,
I think of Ghoul Girl revealed. This is great. Okay, I have just stepped in too.
I'm gonna let you have this moment, Michael Madden.
It's so rare that I get a moment to be shady that's actually funny, and I don't just sound like I don't just sound like a jerk. So I gotta take it. Because usually when I try to be shady, that's like silence.
It's like dun, dun,
I'm not
dun.
mean. I'm not mean.
That's
Anyway.
I can't. Okay, so After Forever, season 2.
After Forever, season 2.
What for you? Because I know like when you first create a concept for a show, and then the first season is into fruition, and then you go, we're doing a season 2. Like, how did you? And especially coming off the wins and the recognition that it received, how did that feel for you going into season 2 production?
Well, Michael Slade and I, when we sat down and created the first season, there were things that we wanted to also talk about in the story that we knew, well, if we ever go into a second or third season, we'll put it in there. And that's sort of, we kind of had it all ready. It was exciting. It was, it was a bigger spoonful of sugar, so to speak. We had a lot more to take on, but we also accomplished it. And I think everybody is always worried about the sophomore year of a series because. I mean, we kind of came out this little show that could all of a sudden became this 5-time Emmy Award winning, and we had 8 nominations total there. And it was magic. It was magic. And then second season, you guys saw it. It's emotional. It has the roller coaster ride of emotions, but it's a different set of emotions, and I think it equals. I think it raised its. The bar is equal to what we had said.
But for people though who don't know what After Forever is about,
yes,
tell us a little bit.
Okay, are we showing a clip? Are we? I mean,
yeah, we have a 30-second promo.
Okay,
I
just
show that.
Anyway, it's about two men in their early 50s, Brian Stone and Jason Adams, and they meet each other, and after 15 years of being together, Jason is diagnosed with a cancer diagnosis and dies. Spoiler alert. That's first season.
What happened to Jason?
Did you hear about Jason?
Dead.
But we tell the story. In real time and in flashbacks, and then there's scenes where Brian, myself, I'm conjuring up Jason's being, his thoughts, his ghost, whatever. And it's my conversation. It's Brian's conversation of trying to work stuff out.
Yeah.
How he feels and what Jason might think if he was here at the time. And
yeah, because you used him to work things out.
Yeah. And I mean, we've talked about this before. It's when people die. And by the way, it's a love story.
Yes.
But it's really about love, loss, and moving on. So it's a universal love story. It just happens to be told between two men. And Michael and I set out to create a show that was about men that we knew, men that we are, men that we do not see on the canvas of storytelling. And so that's how that got created. And that was, I think, if you keep to your truth and you keep it personal and you keep it real to what you know, I don't think you can ever really lose.
It resonates.
Yeah, so that's part of that. And then I forgot I was going to say something else, but
when I was watching it, and I know that.
Oh, I know.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Go.
So I was just going to say, we're talking about conjuring up the ghost of Jason.
Yes.
And when Michael and I created this element, he had just lost his partner about a year and a half prior to our meeting. And when we talked about it, I said, do you still talk to him? And I thought, wouldn't that be a wonderful way to kind of express story and tell story? Because no one ever, you'd never forget someone. And as long as you're alive, you still have that relationship with the person. Love never dies. And, it continues on. So.
Listen, I felt like
Ghoul Girl revived.
Yeah. I was like, listen, first of all, if I'm lucky enough in this life to have a partner, and then for some reason unlucky to die, I'm still hunting. Like, I'm still right there with him. Like, what you doing? Who is this? Who you dating? You sure about him? I don't like him. Like, I would still be very much a Jason. Like, what's going on? What's happening?
Well, okay. I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Take
note. Write that down. So with that, are some of the storylines and things created based on what you guys have experienced or things that friends have experienced? Like, where did the creation of these characters and storylines come from?
What's happening?
For those watching, we're fixing the noisy table.
I had a feeling, Sorry, I'm coming in here next
television.
time.
Poor Bree is trying to be incognito, but we're like, girl.
AfterBuzz TV, Dishin days. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
No attention.
Anyway.
Go ahead.
When Michael and I were talking about creating story, I had the idea of writing a story about dating as a gay man in his early 50s.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy.
Listen, it's crazy in your early 50s. It's crazy in your late 30s. It's
just crazy.
It's just all crazy.
And as you get older, the joke is, everyone has baggage, but none of it matches. And I was not finding matching baggage anywhere. But, and Michael had just lost his partner. So we kind of talked about things that we knew and things that we wanted to express. And, excuse me. Things that we want to express, and I think the magic of it was we have both dealt with loss in so many different ways.
Yeah.
That it's, as I said, it's universal, But the experiences, Michael likes to say, and we'll talk about it, I'm sure, on Thursday. In every character, there's a piece of Michael, because he's just the greatest head writer ever.
Yeah.
And, he's your secret weapon to when you want to do a digital series, in case you ever want to set out to do it.
I'm always available. So I just, I can create storylines all the time. I do it here all the time.
Yes. Take note.
You're familiar.
Take note.
You're familiar. So, how close is the character of Brian to Keven, if at all?
Oh, I think there's aspects of myself in him. When we were creating this character and the story, I told Michael that I just wanted to be able to wake up and step onto the set and continue being.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to have to. It's not that I didn't want to have to act. I just didn't want to have to like put on a whole other.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted to I wanted to take the journey of the hero's journey. I wanted to deal with the dark night of the soul, and I wanted to create a healing for this character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's, for me, in a lot of my work, if I'm going through a healing, then you're going to receive that by watching it.
Yeah.
I hope.
I have to say, the supporting cast.
Well,
I mean,
know,
come on.
Yeah. I mean, Mitchell Anderson, who came out of retirement, you know, he owns 2 wonderful restaurants in Atlanta. And 2? He opened a second one, Metro Fresh. Metro Fresh in Atlanta, Georgia. And, you know, I could have never done the series without him. I mean, he's the perfect dead husband. Fake husband, I mean. And then this season, we brought on Mike McGowan, who plays my new love interest.
He's so good.
Anita Gillette and Lenny Wolpe returned. Katie Huffman returned as Jason's BFF. And and Mary Beth Peel plays my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great, wonderful moment. And the 2 Pauls, Jameson Stern and
Oh,
David
my
Dean
living
Bottrell.
word, yes.
And I know Aaron Cherry, Emmy Award-winning Aaron Cherry came back. And am I missing people? I'm sure. I'm thinking of storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great cast.
I adored. I don't know her name. I think she plays your assistant.
Aaron Cherry.
Yes, her. I was like, I like her because I feel like that would be me in an office setting. Like,
She actually works though.
Michael's
Oh my gosh.
okay, now listen.
Gosh, we are Dishin days and after.
I had let
Shady
you
said
have
it.
1. Now you going for 2.
Hey, I may go
that
for
one.
3.
Let's go for the hat trick.
Let's do it.
I work too. I work very.
I know
hard.
you do. You're always hustling at Mickey's and yeah.
Thank you, Michael Mattis. I
You
appreciate
do. I do. You do. Sorry.
Thanks.
You got
I
the
like
theme
it.
song at Mickey's. You got
I did.
You got our theme song.
Yeah.
My Forever played. You helped me get it played at several of the establishments
And
on the Santa Monica Boulevard.
I was happy to make that happen. Listen, sometimes I know people. Sometimes things work. You know what hasn't worked yet? Maxine's son, but that's a different story. So with this,
With what?
If going into season 3, because I'm just gonna bless it and say and put it out in the universe that there's gonna be.
It is
3.
written.
Okay.
There is a start date in mind.
Okay.
And it will be the completion of the trilogy that we see happening here. And just FYI, we're happy to go beyond that.
Well, yeah.
But that's going to need some help.
Keep it going.
Because Daddy can't keep raising that money, and it's a solo. You know,
Yeah.
Michael and I are working so hard on our own. We've got other things we want to do. So if HBO or Showtime or Hulu or
Netflix.
Amazon or Netflix or any of the above want to come in and acquire it and make it After Forever the movie.
Or, crowdfunding is a huge thing.
Yep.
Blake Bears is currently crowdfunding for the movie that he's doing. Crystal Chappelle, when she did Venice, she crowdfunded for her season. So
I'm not against crowdfunding, and we may do that eventually.
Yeah.
I know that
it's a lot.
it is a second career.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And, we've been blessed with the wonderful people who have invested and donated already at this time. So, but season 3.
Season 3. If you could have any gay icons appear in the show, who would your top 3 be?
Oh God! Well,
I like that.
And you had anyone. I walked in and I said, pick who you would like.
there is a role that we have someone in mind for.
Do you want to say? Is it a secret?
Was it someone that was mentioned in season 2?
No.
Okay.
No.
Someone else?
I mean, listen. I want to work with my friends.
Yeah.
And gosh, if I could find a way to put Billy Porter in the series,
Ooh.
or if I mean, I love Billy, and we've known each other for years. I'd love to work again with Harvey Fierstein.
Gosh.
That's a good one.
Who else? There's a couple other people.
Okay.
That's two.
That's
Trying to
two.
think that, yeah. Circling around some ideas.
Well, see, if you put it out there,
Yes.
you never know what could happen.
This is true.
All of a sudden, you get a phone call that's like, hey, I heard, I mean, maybe they watch this, I don't know. I heard that you wanted me. And you're like, yeah, let's make it happen.
I wanted, I did want Billy in second season for a possibility, and he just got so busy, and he got I mean, he got so famous so fast, and I mean, he's been famous, he's been extraordinarily successful, but now he's writing it all.
Yes.
It's so beautiful to watch, and you know, he inspires me.
Yeah.
So
and
as Harvey does.
Yes.
And other people who I know who are.
With Billy, it was like, you know, he had been working so hard, and I think he was kind of on the verge of like giving up a little bit, and then boom, Pose happened.
Well,
from just based on interviews that I've
Kinky
Boots
seen. Happened.
Yes, Kinky Boots did happen before Pose.
And Kinky Boots was so reaffirming that he was there. He was still around. And, and you know, Billy and I, we grew up in the trenches, different trenches, but nonetheless trenches.
Yeah. Well, Billy Porter or anyone
Billy
who knows
Porter.
Billy, if you are watching, go ahead and go over to After Forever season 3 and make that happen.
Get Mr. Ryan Murphy to watch After Forever,
and then Ryan Murphy can just go
scoop it up, and let's get it out going.
Because Ryan Murphy, he can walk into any office and say, "What do you want from me?"
I think Ryan Murphy is doing an extraordinary thing for television, and film these days,
and storytelling,
absolutely.
Everything.
And I think it's important that we continue to nurture and support all that.
Yes.
I mean, I'm grateful that the industry now, and Michael and I have talked about this. I mean, if you would have told me I could create a show like this 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10, it's just it started to happen, and we didn't have to wait for permission for anything. So that was really.
That's the beauty of it.
Should we show the promo for season 2?
Oh,
yes.
Show the
Let's do that.
30-second promo.
So let's take a look at the promo for season 2 of After Forever. Probably should have told Ryan that we were going to do it. Here it is.
It was in the rundown.
It's always so easy with you. Was it? Or is that the mythology you built? Come here.
Maybe I don't want Brian with a wonderful guy. Someone might make him forget Jason.
He's never going to forget it.
If I want to have a future, I need you gone.
Oh, you guys, please make sure you tune in and watch. If you haven't watched season 1 yet, go back, watch season 1, get into season 2.
Raw, beautiful love story.
Really and it has all the feels.
It's on Amazon Prime in the U.S. and the U.K. and it's worldwide on the binge networks.
Okay.
So, would you feel like this is one of the most emotional characters you've played?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a character that I have absolutely been given the opportunity to kind of cover all the emotions and ride. I mean, there's humor, there's pathos, there's grief, there's anger, there's some shade that goes down in season 2. Some anger that happens.
Yes.
Why are you looking at me?
It wasn't me looking at his
Oh, that was me. That's me looking at Michael Mattis.
But it's if not the top, it's one of the top roles that I have done that I've been most proud of. Michael and I are both extraordinarily proud of the series.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Well, we're going to open the phone lines
and
take some phone calls.
Phone it up.
So if you guys have a question, comment, concern,
Compassionate advice.
Feel free to give us a call at 424-354-8302. That's 424-354-8302. In our chat room, there was a question from Dwight who wanted to ask you, do you remember your first role on The Facts of Life from the Rating Games episode?
Yes, I do.
How was that?
It was
That was with Miss Nell Carter.
No,
wait, Facts of Life.
Facts of
Give me a
Life.
break.
Facts of Life was with Cloris Leachman was on it that time. Yeah, I remember it. I was coupled with Jo, the girl, Nancy McKeon.
Yes.
And it was fun. A lot of fun.
I did watch Facts of Life.
I had a lot of hair. Take the good,
Closer to
you take
Jesus.
the facts of life. I can't remember.
The facts of life.
Yep.
I never knew what the words were either. I just kind of pedaled my way through.
And I think, if I am not mistaken, is that Gloria Loring who sang the theme song?
Yeah.
You take the good, you take the
you
bad.
take them both, and there you have
the facts of life.
And it was written by Alan Thicke.
Yes. Yes.
All this information in our brains. It's shocking.
And he's a great photographer,
Yes,
too.
he's a
Hello.
great
Because he took
photographer.
someone's pictures recently.
Right?
Oh, I saw them. They look good.
They're really
They look
good. Thank you, Michael.
Oh, of course.
They're really
Anytime.
good.
I had a great subject.
Ah.
It was great. It's always great having someone that knows what they're doing, like a subject that knows, and you don't have to like direct them. I was just. I was like, go for it. And
Well, I was with Allison Van Oor at the Writers Guild Awards, and there's Michael going. I went,
I was like, I looked
call
back,
Michael.
I was-
Call Michael.
I got your eye, and I was just like,
It was great, and we didn't win the Writers Guild Award, but hopefully next season. But I had my new commercial agents were like, "You need new pictures." I was like, "Oh, okay," and then all of a sudden I went, "I'll call Michael." So
had a nice rooftop on my building.
yeah,
Did a little
sun
sesh.
setting. It was
Yeah.
great. It was great.
Beautiful.
Looks like we have a caller.
A caller.
Speaking of Dwight, hello caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
Dwight.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
We're
How are
great.
you?
Good.
Where are you calling from?
Calling to ask a question for Kevin.
Okay. Go ahead
I'm
with
right
your
here.
question.
Kevin, what was your experience like playing Craig on Days of Our Lives with Patricia Darbo?
One of the funnest, greatest, craziest experiences I've ever had working with another person. Patrica's great, and I mean, we become friends. We stayed friends. She's great. I mean, I had a fun time with the whole cast.
Yeah.
I really did. When they were using us, we were having fun.
Yeah.
And when we weren't there, okay, off camera, off screen, we had a fun time too.
Is it easy going back into a role that you haven't been in for a while? Was it just kind of like, oh, like I'm familiar with this person and where they might be now, and you just kind of dive in, or do you take a second to think about them?
Craig, I think any character, any role you take on, there's a part of you.
Yeah.
So, the part of me that's Craig just has to kind of be refocused and, okay, and I say the words and, hello, Chloe, how are you? Nancy, darling. I'm making fun of it, but it's true. It's just, it's part of you. And I think the style is the thing that is always the bump, because After Forever, of course, is a different style. It's written differently. It's not so. There's not a lot of recap. In After Forever, and in Daytime, there's a lot of recapping.
Yeah.
And it's just a different. It's a different muscle.
Yeah.
So you've got to work the muscle out again.
Yeah.
But I guess because I had been working up to that moment of getting back to LA from New York, and Craig was not Craig. Greg Mang was like, "We got to get you here." I said, "I've still got to do reshoots on one day." He goes, Okay. So I can't wait to get right in. But I was in it. I was in the workout mode.
Yeah.
So, thank you for that question.
Yeah. Thank you, Dwight, for calling in. We always appreciate it. What?
Oh, nothing.
Oh,
I was just gonna say I think he's gone.
Oh,
I think it's a was it she or he?
He.
Oh, he.
Yeah.
Oh,
good old Dwight.
That was D. White.
Yes.
Okay.
Good old
Couldn't hear
Dwight. Oh my gosh, I'm pulling a Mark J. Freeman.
What?
I had something and then I totally forgot.
Me too. See how it's in the air.
Oh my gosh.
You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and then what do you have? The facts of life.
And I still can't think of what I was. It was right at the tip of my tongue.
Don't know.
Oh well.
Well, go and see After Forever on Amazon Prime, first and second season, 8 episodes, short form. They're each about 11 to 12 minutes.
And you've got 12 nominations for the Indie Series
We have
Awards.
10 nominations coming up for the Indie
April.
Series Awards coming up on
congrats
April
on
1st.
that.
Thank you. Yes, we're very excited about that.
Yeah.
So.
And hopefully more Emmy nominations.
It's Emmy time, so hey voters.
And it really is an easy watch because like once you watch one, it carries you over into the next and then all of a sudden you're like, oh,
that's done. Yeah.
Well, we dropped season 2 December 31st of 2019. You all came to the screening.
Yes, thank you for our invite.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Someone couldn't make it.
I know it. I was stuck in Orange County.
And she lives in OC.
I do.
Like,
sorry. That's already a problem.
I was looking at all the
No, I'm
photos.
kidding.
I was like, oh, I want to meet you. And I was so bummed. I texted Tammy. I was like, how was it? I was so bummed I didn't make it.
Have you seen it yet?
I've seen it this week.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Because we got to talk on Thursday.
We're going to talk on Thursday.
But so most people binge watch it anyway. My mom binge watched it. My mom figured out how to get on Amazon, and it's like,
it's really easy to binge.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to binge on Amazon, especially because it just rolls you right into the next episode. At the screening, we showed each. We let the credits roll for each episode. So it's same thing.
Looks like we have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. You're on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Mike Riley from New York. Hello,
everyone.
Oh,
I'm
Mike Riley.
Do you all know Mike Riley?
We do.
Hi, Mike Riley. I guess they know you. I don't, but hi.
Mike Riley has been a fan of ours for many years, and I always enjoy when he calls because it's always uplifting.
Yes, truly.
Lift us up, Mike Riley.
Do you have a question or a comment, Mike?
I've never been given that descriptor before, but I'll take it. First of all, I've been a fan of Kevin's for a long time. And I just want to say you look so amazing right now.
Yes.
For any age.
Thank you.
Any age.
Thank you.
And I did see you in New York.
You what?
2 separate occasions.
I'm sorry.
Just on the street, and I was too shy to say hello to you.
Oh.
Once you were with a group of people, but once you were alone, I was still too shy. So talk about a missed opportunity for me. But
I'm sorry.
Next time you take it, Mike Riley.
I know. Next time say, hey,
you
Mike Riley.
hop in there. You go, hey, I'm taking the third opportunity. I'm saying hello.
Okay, great. I can be rather charming in real life. So I don't want to cause too much of a distraction in your day.
If he says so
justifying in my mind.
No,
but I do have a question about days, actually, and this may be a little revisionist history in my mind.
Okay.
But if I'm remembering correctly, the introduction of yours and Patrica's characters, were you not supposed to be playing more of a culter who was married to Nancy for more nefarious reasons?
I'm sorry.
If that's true,
you broke
where
up.
did the pivot come from? Was that in response to popularity with the fans? Was it a change in writing? Did you guys have a part in wanting to change the direction of your characters?
Okay, so do me a favor. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can you repeat the first part? Because you
broke up. We did. Yeah.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
It's not your fault.
I just remember that your character and Patrica's characters, they were not totally in love in the beginning when they were first introduced on Days, and I remember
I think
you playing more of a gold digger, and then there was a total pivot, and you were like super lovebirds. Was that a result of your popularity with the fans, or did you guys have a say in wanting to change the trajectory of the characters, or was there just a writing regime change?
None of the above. When they brought me on, they later introduced my wife about 3 months later, or 2 months, I can't remember. But they always had Nancy and Craig madly in love.
I don't remember there being any kind of like funny business or anything, but that was a long time ago, so maybe I missed something.
No. I mean, they had moments where I would play opposite Nurse Allie to, kind of not seduce her, but to sort of like, come on,
nudge her in a
Come on, Nurse Allie. I mean, they dressed me up in a leather jacket once, and I walked up to her door and I knocked on her apartment door, and I said, "What's going on here?" But no, Nancy and I were always in love, and unless they want to reveal something later, or upcoming. Gosh, wouldn't it be great to get back on the canvas?
I always liked the Wesleys on
Me too.
when they were on Days.
Me too.
So did I.
Yeah, it's really a great coupling, and it's very very different from what we're used to seeing, and it's you have to both have such great comedic timing, and in a medium that can be very heavy-handed and serious. You were lighthearted and fun, so I do miss you guys.
Well, thank you.
Thank
you. I miss us too, and I have to hand it. The comedian is Patrika. She's the masteress of that, and I just took my cues from her. So
I actually thought was it a couple years ago when Nancy or Patrika came back to the show, I thought you weren't too far behind. I thought for some reason they were going to have both of you back on, but then it was just...
Yeah, I'm not, again, Michael Slade and I joke about this because Michael and I didn't know Michael when he, said hello to me at the gym in New York, however many years ago. I think I used to write for you when you were on Days of Our Lives. The daytime likes to keep the actors separate from the writers, so I never really know what happens or what the regime is. And I know that the head writers had changed when right after we gave birth to baby Joy. Isn't she grown up on the show now?
She's supposed to be.
Well,
she's referenced, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've seen her.
It's that they walk up the stairs and then next week they walk back down and they're 20.
Or in the case of Family Matters, they just don't come back down.
Or they don't come back down. Oh, thanks Mike Riley for calling in.
Thanks,
I
Mike
appreciate
Riley.
it.
Oh, he's still there.
Oh, hey, Mike!
Thank you, Mike. Bye. Poor
I forgot
her.
the character's name, but yeah, she walked upstairs and
Judy. Judy on Family Matters, and then she was never talked about again. But in daytime, kids will walk
Grow up
upstairs
next week.
and then
or a month or a year.
Well, it used to be they would go to boarding school for the summer,
right?
And then when they came back, they were.
That was always a popular story. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the way to age the kids.
Yeah.
But that's also no different than a day lasting 1 month.
Right. Yes.
We were just talking about that. The pacing has really sped up. They don't do that anymore. Like a day lasting a month, Salem days are actually seem shorter now.
Yeah. It's usually a week.
Yeah.
It's usually a week.
It is a day will last for about a week and a half.
Mm-hmm. It can. It can. I remember there was a 20-day day at one point. I remember what? Are we still?
I cannot.
Is Stefano still
That was a Mother Mattis complaint when I would watch over the summer, and she was a teacher, so she was home during the summer, and she'd watch with me, and she's like, "It's still the same day." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's later, Mom."
Much later.
A couple hours later.
It's 1 week is the morning, then the next week is the afternoon, then the next week is the evening, and then you finally get the next day. Maybe. I don't know.
I just show up, hit my marks.
Do your job. You just work there.
I'm the hired help.
A lot of people in the chat room want to know if they did ask you back on Days, would you go back? I mean,
hell yes.
I mean, I knew the answer to that.
Yeah.
I mean, of course.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Please and thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Soap fans are some of the loyal people. They can make things
loyal,
happen.
I know.
Yeah.
And if you're loyal, go to the After Forever. And also, Amazon loves to read those reviews. So
Yes.
Okay,
leave
good.
some reviews.
Yes.
If you watch it for first season, leave it on first season. If you leave it on second season. And those stars, they love that. It's
all
helpful.
the ratings. Yes.
It's helpful.
Yes. So be supportive.
Yeah.
Watch and rate and comment and subscribe and tell a friend.
Also write the people at Days and say, that Craig needs to be back on the show.
Yeah.
They're far ahead though too now, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're shooting
Like
as
6
far
to
as
8
we know
months, yeah.
September now.
Yeah.
Or they
So they're
might
like-
be they might be at the end of September, maybe October.
Like 6 to 8 months
they-
ahead.
6 to 8
Yeah.
months, yeah.
That's crazy.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I remember it used to be we would shoot the Christmas episodes on Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Because we'd bring the kids onto the set. And
Now it's like
Forget
You're
it.
shooting Christmas in summertime.
Yeah, I
In
was gonna
summertime.
say in May,
Yep.
at least.
Yep.
And then summertime at Christmas.
True. True that.
Home for the holidays.
Well, speaking of our little show, Days of Our Lives, we have a clip of what's coming up next week on Days of Our Lives. Let's take a look.
Need 1 second.
Oh, okay.
We can riff for a minute.
Dun,
Mind if I riff?
Oh, are you gonna riff or you gonna throw more shade?
I have no more shade.
I never know
I
what's
got
coming
2.
today, Mike
I'm
Mass.
tapped out. After 2, I'm tapped out.
Don't limit yourself
my
like
shade
that. I have faith
tank
in
is
you.
empty. Huh?
I have faith in you.
Aw.
Yeah.
Maybe after
Something-
the show.
Something will come up.
Something will come up. Something
Something
always
will
does.
come up. I'm pretty sure something will. Something will.
You crazy.
will
All
definitely
you
come
is
up.
crazy.
What's Michael's writing style like?
What do you
Like,
mean?
does he hole up and not talk to anybody for months on? You know,
Oh, that's a
like-
good question.
Does he like seclude himself?
No, I mean,
And we're talking about Michael Slade, the
Michael Slade, my co-creator, co-writer, and the head writer of After Forever. You know, we've always talked story. We've always talked ideas for where what's in each episode. So we both became like the creators of each episode and what has
So
to
you
happen.
had it all fleshed
But
out.
he went off and just went on the computer, and then I'll never forget. Once we kind of figured out season 1 and what we were going to do, and how we were going to do it, and I was going to do a show somewhere. I was performing at some theater. I was doing my one-man show, and he sent it to me the night before I got on the plane. So it's like
script?
5 a.m. Yeah,
Like,
the first episode.
The first episode, yeah.
And it's only like 8 or 9 pages. And I'm in the cab going to JFK in New York, and I'm reading it on my phone, and I'm weeping. I'm like, this is exactly what I dreamed.
That'd be a
I'll
great
never forget
moment.
it. So, he's got his style. He's got his way of doing it. I've never been with him when he's actually typing it out, but I'm sure he takes his time, and, whether it's going to a coffee shop or in his apartment or on a plane or...
You never know when inspiration hits you.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And sometimes you don't have it. You just gotta forge through.
But it's always great when something that's up here is like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
like someone
Comes to
else gets
fruition,
it,
yeah.
and you can, it's a good moment.
and then he gives it to me to look at and read, and if I'm more so for me, not so much of the other characters, but if there's a certain way that he's written a line and it doesn't drop in for me, I'll question it, or I'll request, can we relook at this line? And he'll say, well, what would you say? And I would say A, B, and C, and he'd say, well, then say that.
That's great.
But then if he explained it to me another way, I go, oh, got it.
Yeah.
He's a great wordsmith.
Shout out to Michael Slade.
Yeah.
Michael Slade, see you Thursday.
And now we're ready for that preview of what's to come on next week's episodes of Days of Our Lives.
I was on the road that night.
Maggie lost 2 loves.
Will is innocent. I killed your mother.
What?
Drunk and got behind the wheel.
Now, Sonny is coming home.
Aww.
I can't handle Sonny screaming at Meg.
Well,
who died?
So,
wait, can you tell I haven't been watching?
So there was a time jump. There's
a lot.
Yes. So there was a time
lot of
jump that
backstory on this
happened,
one.
and like
a 1 year time jump.
Yes, they
one
jumped to.
One episode is a year, and then the next episode's a year later.
Wait,
yes,
for everybody?
For everybody. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So technically in Salem it's 2021.
Yes. And so what has been happening since about November is what has transpired within this year. And
so they're like going back and talking about what happened
a little bit,
leaving it into the present.
Yes. It's still present. I can dig that. And so because when they did the time jump, we discovered that Will and Ben Weston are in jail. We have no idea why. Mm-hmm. So we find out that Will is in jail for killing Adrian, who was played by Judy Evans.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Is that his mother?
That's Sonny's mother.
Sonny's mother.
Yes.
The one that was yelling his mom.
Sonny.
Yes. So then, but then it's revealed, and this was just revealed maybe a month ago, that it was actually Maggie who killed Adrian and not Will because she was drunk.
Hit and run.
Yeah. Well,
hit and
it was
pass
more
out.
Hit and pass. Yeah.
It was a hit and
Hit and
pass out.
run.
She doesn't
and
remember
cover up.
anything.
Yeah. Welcome to the days of our lives.
Well, I have to say, I kind of like the storytelling.
Yeah.
It's a
from a fan's point of view, it's been amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been.
Hats off. I mean, you got to listen. Something has to be done in the storytelling that reinvents
exactly
what's going on, and the episodes was one thing, on the app. Thank you. And that's an app, folks.
Yes.
This signifies
the app. But that's happening over here.
Yeah.
And this is happening over there.
Yeah. When people are like, oh, I haven't watched Days in so long, I say start at November 8th. It's a brand new show, and you can just catch up easily.
November 8th. Wow.
Yeah, that's when everything hit the fan. All right. Well, sorry. Unfortunately, that's it.
Out of time.
I had fun. Always do.
I'm so glad that you came in, and congratulations on season 2. And I'm just I'm looking forward to all of the hopeful accolades that you'll receive on this season, just as much as you did in season 1.
Absolutely.
We'll be honored to receive anything that comes our way.
Yes.
We're grateful that people are watching After Forever on Amazon Prime. Binge Network.
So great.
Make sure y'all tune in and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Before we head out, of course, we have to let you know where you can cyberstalk us. Michael Mattis.
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
You can find me on, this is new, Twitter and Instagram at ML Mattis, because ML Mattis finally became available on Twitter again. So now ML Mattis on all social media platforms.
Well, look at you.
Hashtag goals.
And that gets Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
I remembered it too. Yes.
Chelsea Overrocker.
And you could find me on Instagram at Chelsea Overrocker and on Twitter at Chels Overrocker.
And you can find me on Twitter at Tammy Gavea and Insta Tammy.Gavea.
And Keven Spiritus, where can they find you, or at least find the show?
I'm KevinSpiritus.com. I'm Keven Spiritus on every Facebook and
across all social media platforms.
That's how you say it.
Yeah.
And AfterForeverTheSeries.com. After Forever the Series, Facebook, AF the Series, Twitter.
And Instagram.
Instagram is After Forever the Series.
Oh.
Yeah. Y'all go like it, subscribe it.
So good.
Enjoy it. And of course, you can find all of us on Instagram and Facebook, Dishin Days, and _Dishin Days on the Twitter. And you can
on the
Twitter. The twits. And of course, you can find little old chocolate me at Lounging with Tony on all social media platforms. Keven, thank you again for coming in.
Yes, thank you so much.
And we wish you all the best.
Woo.
And of course, thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll see you next week for another full recap of your favorite hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.